Hello and welcome back to An Old Man Watches, and today I'm going to be talking about Pixar's 2007 animated offering Ratatouille. And in Ratatouille we meet Remy, a young rat with heightened senses of taste and smell who dreams of becoming a chef, just like his human idol, the late Auguste Gusteau. The rest of his colony, however, Remy's colony, that is, not Auguste's, only eat for sustenance and are wary of humans because, they're rats. When the rats are forced to evacuate their current home, Remy is separated from the others. Encouraged by an imaginary vision of Gusteau, he explores until he finds himself on the roof of Gusteau's old restaurant. There, Remy notices the restaurant's new garbage boy, Alfredo Linguini, attempting to fix a soup that he has ruined. Linguini's attempts to fix the problem are actually only making it worse. So Remy jumps in to fix it. Now Linguini catches Remy in the act, but does not reveal him to Skinner, Gusteau's former sous chef and the new owner of the restaurant. Skinner confronts Linguini for tampering with the soup, but when the soup is accidentally served and proves to be a huge success, the restaurant's only female chef, Colette Tattoo, convinces Skinner to retain Linguini and uphold Gusteau's motto, anyone can cook. Of course, the problem is Linguini can't cook, so he and Remy will have to come up with a scheme whereby the rat does the cooking for the both of them and they don't get discovered. Even if they could find a way to have the rat do the cooking, how long can it be before the collaboration is discovered, and what will happen when it does? So I wasn't much impressed by the first teaser trailer for this film way back when it was first coming out. It mostly just showed a rat running through a restaurant while stuff was being thrown at it, and my reaction to that was a kind of a big shrug of eh. But when a friend who got to see an early screening told me that the film was very good, I did check it out. And he was right. This is a good film, which is why I own the DVD. But I'd still only rate it as a middle-tier Pixar film. Of course, even mediocre by Pixar standards is pretty good. Now, I'm naturally going to be discussing my quibbles with the movie and the reason I think it's not quite up to the standards of a Toy Story 2 or The Incredibles or even Cars. But before I start complaining, let's talk about what I do like about the movie. And, as can be expected of any Pixar project, the film looks and sounds great. The character designs, for instance, as you can see from the image on your screen, they've made no attempt to be photorealistic, but that's much less important than how perfectly they suit the characters, whether it is the vulpine loom of the intimidating food critic Anton Ego or the gangling, dishevelled appearance of Linguini. All of the characters are distinctive, engaging in their look, and just looking at them instantly tells you something about that character's outlook and personality. Film is a visual medium, and Pixar are masters of both recognising and leveraging that fact. And backing up the strong visuals are an excellent voice cast, and well chosen for their roles. I think Peter O'Toole is a particular delight as the disdainful Ego, but everybody does a good, solid job here. You're not going to find a weak performance in the film. Now, that sort of technical excellence is to be expected in a Pixar movie. But beyond that, something that I very much like about Ratatouille is that they chose a topic that is simultaneously both mundane and wonderful. Food and cooking is something that we all have to deal with every day, and we might not like that fact. We might not be into cooking or even into food in some cases. But cooking and food is something that can bring most of us great joy. That's a core part of the attraction of the delightful Great British Bake Off. That you watch people who love to baking delicious looking things, and imagine that you're getting, you can imagine what it would be like to see and eat that in person. And like that show, Ratatouille celebrates the joy of food and of its preparation. The film acknowledges the skill and the pleasure that cooking can involve and celebrates those. Importantly, it also shows that food doesn't have to be fancy to bring great pleasure, as anyone who has ever downed a Tim's Ham Slam would know. So yeah, Ratatouille is heartwarming, relatable stuff, and it's a very enjoyable watch. Even if it is, perhaps, asking the audience to forgive an awful lot of narrative conceits. Now, while I don't think that the film ever outright breaks the rules of the setting it creates, unlike, say, the original Toy Story, Ratatouille does require an awful lot of suspension of disbelief. You want me to accept that our main character is a rat who wants to be a chef? Okay, sure, I'll buy it. But not just that. You want me to accept that he's a rat who has self-taught himself to understand human speech and writing? Well, okay, I guess we can go along with that. Wait, what? You also need me to accept that this very special rat just happens to meet a human being that he can control like a marionette by yanking on the guy's hair, and that the guy's okay with him doing that? This is getting hard to accept. Now, yes, the other Pixar films have had high-concept stuff like this, cars that are intelligent and self-driving, or toys that can come alive only when no one is looking. But they have generally not layered quite so many, and also details on top of each other. Now, I want to be clear, this certainly does not ruin the film. It's still a very enjoyable and fun movie. But for my taste, it does slightly weaken Ratatouille, much like, though to a much lesser extent than, the cheat at the end of the original Toy Story. Overall, though, Ratatouille remains an enjoyable watch, and I recommend checking it out at least once. The actual meal of the same name is worth trying too. A bit time-consuming in terms of chopping up the ingredients, but delicious and simple and cheap to make. Yeah, overall, whatever kind of Ratatouille it is, it's pretty much a winner. Next time, bit of a change of pace with the luridly 80s post-apocalyptia that is 1990, The Bronx Warriors. But that's next time. Until then, thanks for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed it.